So one of the outstanding questions that we have is exactly when humans were moving along the northern route. So we have this evidence from Malolo Cave dating to over 50 to 55,000 years ago, but we have started to go back to this cave and other caves around the Rajamput Islands, pushing the excavations even further down below these 50,000-year-old layers, which we have tentatively promising results for, which we need to do more radiocarbon dating, more OSL dating and other forms of dating to establish exactly when humans were arriving in the area. But in the broader Western New Guinea, West Papua area, a lot of work needs to be done. I mean, in this area, which is much larger than Britain, there are only fewer than 10 published sites with radiocarbon dates. So we don't really know much about the area. If you compare this with Britain, where there's tens of thousands of dated sites, we actually need a lot more field investigations to start to model and understand the nature of people's early dispersals, as well as how they adapted and transformed the environment around northern Sahul. So other scholars, such as geneticists, have also suggested that the Denisovan hominins known from Siberia and now parts of Southeast Asia were possibly living around the Indonesian islands or even New Guinea, mixing with our own species. However, we don't have any human fossil evidence for this time period, none whatsoever really beyond 20,000 years ago. So we can't really start to test these ideas without new field investigations. We can't test whether humans were hunting megafauna without new sites where we find, for instance, we would like cut-marked bone with stone tools in association to demonstrate these early hunting of megafauna. We don't have a good idea of how people were constructing, designing their boats, something we probably will never have for the tropics, but we can start to infer things from the stone tool record. And if we can understand the stone tool record, we might be able to understand, for instance, if people were using stone axes for making dugout canoes and so forth. So there's a lot to actually understand that we still yet to understand about the bigger picture of how people were moving into the region and the actual fine details about how people were living their lives in these places.